everybody. How are you? Perfect. Did you have your coffee? Yes? That is great. I like it. So do I need a microphone or is it okay in this way? Okay. If for any reason you don't hear me, just tell me. Okay. So today we are going to have this presentation. I don't want to kill myself. Okay, about building and deploying a Gemini chatbot with UI. You will see it will be a weird presentation, so don't judge me a lot. This presentation is brought by me, but I'm representing Women Tech Makers in Montreal. I'm also Women Tech Maker ambassador, so I'm kind of representing also Women Tech Makers. So what we are going, tell me that it works, okay. Today we are going basically to have a nice chat about Gemini that will help you when you are lazy, and I will explain you why. Streamlit, how many of you already know Streamlit? Okay, great. So I will look at you, judge me. Okay, and then we will talk about Google Cloud Platform or GCP. And especially we are going to talk about Cloud Build, Cloud Run, Docker, and Artifact Registry. Hello. So who am I? Again, I'm Stefania Pecore. This is all the things that I've done. I will not say everything you can read, but I'm a person who loves AI. I've done a lot of AI in the last 15 years. I'm old. In many, many different industries, just because I'm a very curious person, so I would like, my idea is just to make sure that I can learn how to use AI in different points of view. And I'm ambassador, AI expert, mentor for other organizations. And I think the most important are Women Tech Makers, because I mean, we are at the fest, and also UNESCO Women for Ethical AI, not only because it is UNESCO, but especially because we talk about how to do AI in a responsible and ethical way. It will be not the focus of today, but if you have any questions or anything, just ask me. And we'll talk about that. And it works. As I say every time, I love cats. So these are my two cats. They're beautiful. I love also dogs, but I mean, I have only cats for now. That's it. So I've done a lot of things, but at some point, this was me. I was like, okay, you can do a lot of AI, you can do a lot of research, everything is good, but how we can use it when you are in a business, in an enterprise. And there was the fun part when I started to hear things like deployment, putting in production. I was like, oh my God, okay. I've never done this at university. So this was my phase. And why is this important? Because my background is not technical at all. I started with a bachelor in linguistics. So things that it might seem very, very far away, then linguistics is basically the baseline for LLMs and generative AI, because everything starts from languages. But of course, I was very, very scared. So that's why I was able to discover a Google Cloud Platform that can help. Because basically, if you don't have a lot of knowledge on how to deploy a model or how to put in production, Google Cloud can help you in doing things that are very technical with less efforts. Of course, you can also have the difficult path, but you can start from the very easy part. So basically, if we see here, so usually I was always stuck here. I will do all my tests in Collab, especially because I worked as a data scientist. And then the other part was like, okay, I will call data developers. They will do their job in production and everything. Especially because the UI was not even the UI, it was more the UI of Collab, so we cannot really define as a UI. It was more UI for data scientists. And basically, once I was able to learn a little more about Google Cloud, I was able also to use all these tools that I'm going to present that were taking care for me not only on how to build a model and how to deploy it and how to make it visualize for people, but especially everything that is here that seems so easy, but it's so hard sometimes to handle, especially when you are starting. I think that when people ask me about load balancer the first time, I was like, what is this? Why I need that? They were starting to talk about, yeah, you have a lot of users, so we need to balance people going to the network. I was like, okay, no, too much complicated for me. So what are we going to do today? By the way, you will see some code. The code is available. I will give it to you at the end so that I'm sure that you can just watch here. But it's already on GitHub. So we are going to build a chatbot for lonely people trying to organize a vacation. And basically, they will chat with this chatbot, trying to understand where they can go according to their preferences. And then they will have some documents, and they will upload the documents and try to understand, because they are on a rush, what is important in those documents to organize their travel. And now I will just go here because I don't see. Okay. So we talked about first thing about Collab, the proof of concept stage where I was stuck. In Collab, I basically use it to make sure that I can test what I'm doing, because I want to test the code so that I can understand what I'm doing, and I can also understand if there is anything wrong in the code itself, if the logic is good. So what I'm doing right now is basically create some function to make sure that I can extract the text from the PDF documents. Then I can summarize the text. So in this case, we are going to use Gemini 1.5 Flash. You can use other models. You will not be able to use as it is this code for other models that are not inside the Gemini family, but you can reuse all this function for any other LLMs. You need only to modify some parts. If you need help, I can help you after. Then there will be another function just to have basically the Q&A for the PDF. So you will ask directly to the PDF about some information. And then generic questions. So if you have any curiosity about your travel, you can basically have a chatbot. So the second part is, I will always say thank you to Streamlit. I don't know almost anything about web development. I'm trying to learn, but I'm very bad at it. But I'm trying to learn. But the good part of Streamlit is that basically you have already some functions that are predefined. So you just need to understand what you need in your page, and then you can structure your code and you can visualize it. So it's very intuitive also for people like me. The only thing is that since this is probably the bad part of using, we can say packages, external packages, is that you need to know if there are any things that may contrast with what you're doing. So for example, for Streamlit, there is the difference when we talk about role and assistant. So we need just to make sure that the Gemini keywords will work with the Streamlit keywords. And the good part is that there is a huge documentation online. So basically, I will create my UI part, title, header. Then I will make sure that we can communicate well with the same language of Gemini. And then I will start basically to make sure that everything that is written in the chat can stay in the logs. So if you want to retry this code, pay particular attention to this part, because with this part you are able to not have every time the model that will forget what we're saying to at every time that you press the input button. Yay. Okay. Then the chat container is just really to make sure that I have a container for my message is, again, something more related to the UI part. Inside the chat container, what I did, it was just to create basically the handling of the chat messages. So make sure that I can display what I'm writing as a user. I can display what I receive as a reply. There are some little things that I think they are here. Yes, the message placeholder here is not necessary, but basically I put it there because otherwise, and that's why I'm not good with web UI. Every time that you write something, the part where you can still write as a user will be displayed very, very far away, which is very frustrating for the user. So I've just put that, and again, I'm a person with no knowledge, and that just one string of text that can do that. Then I created a sidebar because I wanted to separate the chatbot from the part where there is more the discussion about the documents. So I created a sidebar where I can upload my PDF. I check if the PDF is a PDF and if it has been uploaded. And then I will display a text summarization of the PDF itself, not the whole text, because otherwise it is too long. So I will stop at 500 characters. And after that, I will basically make sure that the user can get its summary with a button. And then we will have the summary from the PDF. And we can always ask questions also to the PDF, because this is what we want to do especially. And again, as you can see, I didn't say that, but just to make sure, the ST stands for Streamlit. So they are all commands that you have from the Streamlit package. So they are already done. So, and now let's go to the GCP side, the spooky deployment. We are in November, I should put something for Christmas, but it's okay. So, when we talk about GCP, you usually have two different things. We can say you can use GCP in two ways. You can use the terminal or the Cloud Shell terminal, basically. So if you really like to write commands from the terminal, it's good. It's something that I usually do because I think it's fast, especially when you do a lot of errors like me. So you need to restart everything. You just need to put those commands and that's it. Otherwise, you have more the user interface, so which is good if you don't want to use the terminal. It's a little longer because, of course, you need to click, search for stuff, and so on. So when I created my chatbot, I basically created a folder where there was my Docker file. First of all, there was the app.py, which is basically what you have just seen. And then there was a Docker file. The Docker file, which is over there, and we will explain also a little more about Docker. It's very important, and it is something that I really learned when I was working with data dev. I remember again, when I submitted my collab note, data dev were like, okay, but how we can standardize this? And I was like, I don't know, this is the code, just do what you want to do. And they explained me that there was something called Docker. So I could basically put everything that was needed for my code in a way that is standardized for every machine out there. It's integrated with GCP. It for sure, it makes sure that you can have consistency and you can use it in different environments. It's like creating an environment only for the code that you want to deploy. So I don't know if you're familiar, for example, with a Python environment. How many of you? Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Out of curiosity, how many of you use Conda instead of we are lonely? We are really lonely. Yeah, no, I can feel. By the way, so basically, when you create an environment, you want to make sure that if you do anything wrong, your PC will not explode. So it's something similar with Docker, but you can think about to use it when you are in production. So if you have several code that are doing the same stuff, but maybe your client has asked you for different features, with Docker, you can implement two code at the same time, and you can see if they work, and then you can use the newest one instead of the older one without creating any issue in compatibility. So basically, what we are trying to describe here is that we want to make sure that in the machine that we are running the code, we have our updated packages, and then we will run some basically commands. This is more for Linux, to make sure that the machine we are setting is up to date for the code we want to run. Then we will install, we will copy the requirements, so every package for the program we want to run, and then we will install it. We will copy all the other file, we will expose the port, because we are creating a UI, so the user, I'm Italian, by the way, but I still do mistakes in French. Yes. So we will expose the port so that we make sure that users can see what we are doing. We can create some health check if everything is working or not. And basically then we will say, okay, for now on, this is the entry point for the users. Use the Streamlit application, run it for the app, open the door, and use that server address. So that's why Docker is important, but then we need to put it somewhere. So we have GCP artifact registry from Google. So again, what you see right now is basically the code that I can put in the terminal. If we have enough time, I will show you, however, that there is also the UI interface directly, so you don't need to use those commands. Artifact registry is, however, interesting because basically you can handle the images that you want, and you can use several languages. So it's not only for Python, but also for other, and also different operation system. And again, the good part of using these tools is that you will not have to think about everything that is related to compliance and security. Because it's huge stuff to think about. I don't have all the knowledge about it, so I prefer that it's Google that will do it for me. And I told before about having the same code, similar code doing the same stuff. So for example, if you are working inside a team of programmers, maybe you will have different people that are refactoring the code. So you will need to integrate with GitHub. And with artifact registry, you will not have any issue in that kind of environment. And the other thing is, especially from the artifact registry, you can make sure that you will follow your code from the very beginning until the very, very end. This is, by the way, this is extremely important if you finish your credits in Google Cloud, because at that point you can shut up the project and shut up everything that is inside, so you will not spend money. This is the practical part when you do the test. We talk about security. When we, however, expose our code, we usually, and this is more and more true, we need, however, to create the responsibility for the roles that are using the code. So when you use GCP, you will have identity and access management. Basically, for every service that you are going to use, you can specify who can use it, and if there are any things that you don't want, like if you really want to make sure that users will use only a portion of what is really inside your application or your folders. So think about maybe your app is using some confidential documents, so you don't want to expose those documents as they are for every user, but maybe you want, however, the user can be able to ask questions about those documents. So you can do with that. And of course, why it is important when you work in a company is because you need to make sure, especially with the laws right now in Quebec, you need to make sure that you know who is using the code, what they are doing, and especially what are the consequences when they're using the code. So this is perfect for auditing your application. Then, what time is it? Okay, perfect. So then you have GCP build. So GCP build is basically when you will build your image, your code. So as you might see, there is a good example here. So you have the terminal, and this is really the UI. So as you can see, you can really explore even without knowing all the commands. So what I do here is basically to submit my image. I will choose the region. If you want to try it, the only thing that I would suggest, make sure that the region is always consistent for the cost. Otherwise, you will have a lot of cost. And then I will tag my build. Why it is important? Because if you are like me, trying to do 50 tests to understand what is happening, you will have a tag for every test, so that you can also trace what happened really. And if you want to destroy builds, you can do easily. I would not suggest to use final really, because it's not a good tag, but it was speaking to me, so it's okay. So again, we are in the optic that we want to try to do automation, especially if you have several builds, several teams working on that. So the good part of GCP build is that basically you will have different type of repositories that you can use. You have the Docker support, otherwise everything that we have done before, it will be useless. And it's serverless. So basically, you don't need to think about the infrastructure. And we'll see also for the other item that I will show you. But when I said why it's the lazy presentation, is that you don't need to think about everything that is behind all this. You just need to make sure that you are deploying in the right region, the right image, and you know the tag if you want to modify it. And yes, also the good part of that is cost effective. When it is not used, it will not be up. So you will not pay extra costs. Unless you do something wrong with the parameters, but they are well explained, so that's it. But you have $300 to do it, so no worries. They are given by Google. GCP run. So finally, you have done everything. You have done your code, you have created the image, you have built the image. Now it's time finally to run the image in a way that you can show your creation to the world. GCP run basically makes sure that, I will just go behind some slides, just to, where is it? GCP run will take care of everything that is here. So you will not need to think about those at the very beginning. At some point you will need, but for your first test is okay. So basically, again, the good part of this is that you just need to click, and then the run will be over. You will have a link where is deployed your app. It's scalable, so again, will automatically scale based on the incoming traffic. So again, you will not spend money, and is secure because again, behind there is all the instruction that you gave to make sure that people will not enter in your code and doing disasters. The good part is also that if you are creating wrong policies, you will not be able to launch Google Cloud Run. And there will be a debug error telling you, no, you forget to put this authentication. So again, it's a way to start deploying with less stress possible. Okay, and yeah, just to make, these were the builds that I created with my beautiful final relay, and the only thing that I have done it was to deploy it to Cloud Run. So very, very easy. So now, does this work? So since I'm very anxious, I have a video, but I have also the code. I will show you. I hope the video will start at least that. Okay, hopefully yes. So, wait, I want to put it in a big screen. So, as you see, my UI. Here we have our site slide, where I can basically have everything that is related to the PDF. And over there we have our chatbot. So it's more general to ask questions about travel. And this is the interface from Streamlit. So basically, everything that you see was built for me. So does this work? I know the answers. The video knows. Probably you know too, because otherwise I will not show you. So yeah, I will write hello, anime. I was very slow to write that. I heard, it's not kind. I mean, so I will ask, where should I go? I love anime, I've never been to Japan. Where should I go? It's a very general question, but I mean. So Gemini will ask me, yes, but you asked me that, but you didn't give me any indication. Thank you, Gemini, also very kind. And I say, yeah, I want just to eat food and be a Japanese person for one day. Let's do that. And that's everything that was able to tell me for food, for reading. I don't remember what he says to be a Japanese, for Japanese, but good part is Gemini has a very restricted policies for everything that is wrong behavior on the net. So I'm pretty sure that everything that it was written, it was good. In this part, wait, stop, okay. So in this part, I was able to drag and drop my PDF, that is a Japan itinerary. Here I have a part of my text from the PDF. As I said, it is not displayed everything, because I think it was around 60 pages, maybe. So we don't want to display 60 pages for the user. And then we have basically a get summary here, or enter your question about the text and get the answer. I don't remember what I did. I went directly to the question. Can you suggest an itinerary to visit Japan? I think, yes, okay. I was consistent with myself. That's great. From this guide. In bullet points, because I mean, I don't want to waste my time. So just give me the reply and that's it. And is it able to do it? Okay, day 1, day 2, day 3. And this came from the PDF that I just gave to him. So I have a very good itinerary. Why I picked this example? So you will have a spoiler at the end. But with Women Tech Makers, we did a podcast about how to use in general Gemini. And it was about a travel agency. And we were stuck in the proof of concept. So we show the collab part, but we didn't think about how to show to people in a way that they can use it. So that's why I was like, okay, I will do the UI part for that so that I can improve my GCP skills. I will not tell you after. what it comes, otherwise I will spoiler everything. So now, I don't know how to do it. I broke it. Oh, okay. So, no, okay. Things are not over yet. I would like to improve my UI. I would like to have a multi-page UI. I know that it is possible to do it with Streamlit. The only thing, it will be a little more complex than the code you see, because I need at that point to make sure that the session state is maintained in the page that I was using and in each page that I visit. So it will be a little more complex than that. But this is one of the things I would like to do, because for now I put as a side part with the PDF, but my dream will be to have every single functionality in a different page. Save logs with a cheap option. I try for now to do the GCP part. Probably I'm still learning about that, but it was a little expensive to do it. So I would like to have something that will cost less. And also the multimodality. So if you didn't hear about the podcast of Women Tech Makers, and I will invite you to hear about that, to listen about that. In the collab, we put also audio and video. So I would like to have also the multimodality using always Gemini, since it's possible to do it. I can add also a 3A point that is not using Gemini, just because I would like to experiment with other models. This is something that I've already done in the past for other applications, but I think you will see that very, very soon. And the good part from this learning journey is that, so Google Cloud Platform can be used for, no matter what is your level. You can be a very expert, like a very high expert of cloud, or you can be like me, someone who is just starting, and you are able to do a lot of stuff in different ways. Since I'm a very curious person, my next step will be to make sure that I can do what I did using different, for example, Cloud Engine and other applications that are on the Google Cloud Platform, trying to understand what are the differences in terms of complexity and in terms of cost, because I would like, however, to make sure that we can use it in our company. So, before we say goodbye, there is the code. If you want to take a picture, I hope you appreciate my GitHub modified for me. And also the editable location that I didn't modify. Okay, it's okay. Okay. Yes. Just want to say, this is something that I created just this morning, because my company basically called me. They were like, wait, you are going to a developer conference? You know that we are searching for a developer? I was like, no, but thank you for calling me right now. So I had this slide. If you like to work in these languages, and so the company is working more on the healthcare sector. So it's a particular domain. But if you have experience on that, you are searching for a job, you want to try something new, I'm here. We can discuss about that. I think it's important not only to share knowledge, but if I can help you, supporting you in having a job, why not? And you can see how this will go. So the multimodality and all my experiment on our YouTube channel. Why I say our, and I also said, like I told for the all talk about we, I don't have a second person with me, at least no one that you can see, but it's because I talk about Women Tech Makers in Montreal. So these are all the beautiful people. We have new people that are arriving. I don't have their photo yet, but basically, Women Tech Makers, how many of you know about Women Tech Makers? Of course. Really, you know? Wow. Okay, so Women Tech Makers is a program by Google, and it's a community-led program. This means that when we do an event, it's like the fest, it's made by the community, so it might be each one of you. And it is done to celebrate International Women's Day, to make sure that we can share about technology and also about jobs and support women in tech or women that would like to enter tech. The mission for Women Tech Makers, especially in Montreal, is not only to provide inspiration. I really like to provide inspiration, but especially I want to give to people something that is concrete, that can reuse after the event. There can be networking. We had whether people obtain jobs after the event. So for me, it was like the big dream that I realized. Have contacts where they can learn more, or they can basically exchange ideas to create more projects. I had also a person who basically had a startup after with other people inside the event, which is great. And this year we are going to do it. I mean, it's not this year, it's next year. We are going to do it on April 5th. We are still finalizing the venues, but since basically we had last year 400 requests to enter, and we had only 150 people that could enter the place, we are searching for something big. We are still searching for people if you want to talk at the event, if you want to be a volunteer, if you want to know more about the event. I'm the right person. There are also other people here that can talk about that. And what else? Sponsor? Oh yeah, I'm looking for sponsor. I mean, yes. Call your company and make my name. I will be the one who will basically try to jump from a call from work to a call for sponsor and have a big smile and try to make sure that we can have a beautiful event and a big event for 400 people. I don't know how we are going to manage all those people, but it will be fun. So, thank you. You can find me on LinkedIn.